Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's post-game reaction show after a 28-14 loss up against the Chargers is presented by Panda Supps. Now, these guys, best workout supplements on the market. Maybe our team needs to start taking some Panda Supps in the first and second quarter because you can't not show up in the National Football League and expect to win. So what I want you guys to do right now is let me know down in the comments how you feeling. Because I know there's going to be a lot of people out there right now very upset with the effort. And I'm upset too. A 3-0 football team should not put that effort on the field. They were great in the third quarter, but you can't show up only one quarter out of four and expect to win. That just simply cannot happen. Now, the other side of it is this. The Raiders are 3-1. If you would have told me that the Raiders were 3-1 after 4 weeks of football, I would have been feeling really good about it. Now, if you're watching this live, I see some sad, disappointed, mad AF. I'm more mad because we lost to our division rival. A team that when I look at it on paper, I do. I think the Raiders are a better football team. They were out-coached today. They had a few calls not go their way, and they just simply didn't show up. Now, the Chargers made plays when it mattered the most. I'm going to tip my cap to them. A huge fourth down conversion to Jared Cook when it was 4th and 3 in a 21-14 ball game. No doubt about it. But Derek Carr needs to be better. He missed Henry Ruggs on a wide-open touchdown that needs to be caught. Alex Leatherwood was bad. The Raiders' offensive line continues to be very, very bad. So let me know how you guys are feeling after a 28-14 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert, 25 of 38. 222 yards, 3 touchdowns. One of my keys to the game was trying to pick off Herbert because the Chargers are like 1-9 when you intercept them. Again, doesn't get picked off. Austin Eckler, 15 carries, 117 yards, 2 total touchdowns. He absolutely killed the Raiders today. Jared Cook, 6 grabs, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Carr had a bad pick, 198 yards, but really couldn't do much because the offensive line didn't block. Jacobs didn't look 100% healthy. The offensive line couldn't block for him. 13 carries, 40 yards. Hunter Renfrow, 6 grabs, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Marsh, before we get to this, I do want to get some questions. I do want to get some comments up here on the show, and then we'll go to Panda Supps. But overall, start using hashtag Raiders, or you can Super Chat. Let's get to the Super Chats first, though, on today's post-game reaction. SD Kobe, 3-1. It ain't bad. You're right. It's not bad. It's third in the division right now, though, so that's something to be said. Let's go to Machines of God. If not for the horrendous first half, we win the game, as my mom says. Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. I kind of like that saying. However, I'm not going to totally agree with that because the Chargers outplayed the Raiders in the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter has been the quarter that the Raiders could rely on, but not a great effort. Let's go to King Higgins. Not a playoff team. O-line won't cut it. I'm sorry. I still think this Raiders team will make the playoffs now. The stat that I gave last week when they went 3-0, 76% of teams when they go 3-0 make the playoffs. But if they don't make some adjustments to this offensive line, I might agree with you. There's too many good offensive linemen out there in the free agent market. And as bad as what Alex Leatherwood is, I know he picked him in the first round, you got to bench him. Bench him for Brandon Parker. He's been bad. And not only bad, he's been an absolute liability. Andre James was a little bit better today. John Simpson was bad. Kolton Miller didn't have his best game. But you need to do something on the offensive line because it's an absolute disaster. Let's go to the dude. You can't be paid $120 million and miss layups. That's facts. So he's talking about Derek Carr on the last, kind of like late in the game. Had Henry Ruggs for an easy touchdown and just overthrew him. The issue is this. When you're the quarterback, when you're an MVP frontrunner, you can go ahead and make $120 million. Because anymore, $120 million for a quarterback of Derek Carr's stature, kind of an underpay. Let's go to Dexter Beats. Why can't we ever start strong instead of starting so predictable? Gruden needs to realize that pounding the rock isn't going to work with this weak offensive line. You're 100% right, and I've said it now for 4 straight weeks as well. I get it. Gruden wants to be able to pound it. He wants to be able to run it up the middle. He wants to be able to establish the run. But when you do that, your offense gets no mojo. And when your offense gets no mojo, then your guy Derek Carr can't get into a rhythm. And if your offense can't get into a rhythm, all the defense is doing is pinning their ears back, and they're coming after Carr. Now, if you could at least get into a little bit more of a rhythm, quick passes, I would rather the Raiders throw 3-4-yard passes to Renfrow, Kenyan Drake, or some of these backs instead of trying to run it because I'm sorry, you can't keep running the football and expect different results. It's not working. So, change it up. Now, what I want you guys to do right now, I've been trying to grow my Twitter following here. I want you to tweet at me, at Mitchell Renz 365, and I want you to tweet a GIF of your reaction to this game. Every single person that tweets a reaction of the GIF of this game, I'm going to do my best to retweet. I want to be able to show you guys some love. I appreciate everyone that watched tonight. So tweet me at Mitchell Renz 365 on Twitter. And if you want to at me on IG too, please go ahead and do so. A GIF of this game. Let's go to Alex Thompson. Don't we play 5 quarters? It's not over. Don't we play 5 quarters? It's not over. I mean, this game's over. This game's over. Let's go to Carlson. My man, worry going into this game was the O-line. The fact that we're even 3-1 with this O-line shows how good our team really is. Got to change that. You're 100% right. Couldn't agree more. This defense has played better. The defense didn't play well in the first half. Stepped up in the second half. Giving up only 5 completions to Justin Herbert in the second half is amazing. But yes, the offensive line needs to step up. JC, after tonight, how confident are you that we can make the playoffs, and which remaining games are you most worried about? I mean, the games I'm most worried about, I'm going to be worried about the Broncos. They're a 3-1 football team. The Chargers, they're a good football team. Obviously, we just lost to them. The Chiefs, another good team. I mean, that's 5 more games. 5 games that I'm worried about. I'm also still kind of worried about, I'm trying to think of the rest of the games. I know we play the Bears next week. Week 6 is the Denver Broncos. Week 7 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 8 is a bye. Week 9 is the New York Giants. So, I still think we can beat the Bears. I think we're better than the Broncos. I think we're better than the Eagles. And I think we're better than the Giants. We can easily still win 4 out of these next games, which brings me confidence. But if you can at least win 3 out of these next 4, I mean, that you're still sitting pretty there with 6-2 record. Let's go to R. Jizzle. Too much running. Yep, R. Jizzle for shizzle. I agree. Let's go to Joe Blue. Well, at least we got our bad game out of the way early. I hope so. I mean, that one was a rough one. No, there's no doubt about it, but I'm kind of hoping it's out of the way. Let's go to Tasty Midget. That's a hell of a name. Bigger bust of a pick, Leatherwood, Arnett, or Farrell? I mean, I'm probably going to go ahead and say Damon Arnett because Arnett has been an absolute disaster since stepping on the field. Clee was at least good last year. I mean, Clee was, I think, actually one of the better defensive linemen in the NFL last year. So it's kind of interesting why he can't find his way on the field. However, Clee drafted number 4 overall. He's not going to be on the team next year if I had to guess. Damon Arnett drafted 19 overall. I don't think he'll be on the team next year. And Leatherwood has been, again, he had 2 bad false starts. He gave up a bad sack, pressure on Derek Carr all night. It's been bad, guys. It's been bad. Now, something that isn't bad is the Raiders Report. Go ahead, subscribe, stay up to date on everything going on around the Las Vegas Raiders, whether it's news, whether it's rumors, whether it's a post-game reaction show like this. Plus, I'm going to be live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So please, I would appreciate it if you subscribe. We're a free channel after all. Let's go to Mario Rubio. No quarterback can win when your O-line plays like that. We need to sign a guard, and if Leatherwood needs to step up, highlights, D played very well. I won't say the D played very well. He still gave up 28 points. Now, sure, the offense puts you in some pretty bad positions, but defense needs to play better early on. But you're right. We got to sign somebody on offensive line. I don't know what else I can do. I've literally talked about offensive linemen every single day for the last 3 weeks. Let's go to Alex Mendoza. What's up, Mitch? Tough loss. A lot of work to do, but the Raiders needed to get this loss to get their shit right for the rest of the season. You know, it's kind of funny that you say that because after this game, I was like, you know what? Sometimes the team needs to get punched in the mouth, and sometimes the guy who's fighting needs to get punched in the mouth a little bit to wake the hell up. I'm hoping this game wakes them up because it's basically been, not even basically, 4 straight weeks of you playing shitty football in the first quarter. Wake up. Got to get it rolling. Let's go to Ray. Just sent in a $5 super. Ray, I appreciate the support. Much love to you, my guy. So what I want you guys to do right now is name a player that needs to step up. I mean, the number one guy for me is Alex Leatherwood. I mean, he's just been bad. And it's so frustrating because he looked good in the preseason. He looked good in training camp. And I can't figure out why he's as bad as what he is right now. The offensive line. That's my player. The offensive line needs to step up. And it's kind of crazy because since I've been covering this Raiders team, the offensive line has been a major positive. And it's been bad. And now the fact that Damon Arnett is hurt, that could be a guy that needs to step up. Mullen, he was doubtful to return, so we got to keep an update on that injury as well. But Trayvon Mullen was one guy that got hurt, and I'm hoping he's able to play because without him, It's going to hurt the defense a little bit. Let's go to Chandler. Trade 99-20 and a first for Quinnen Williams. So you're going to trade Clelin Ferrell, Damon Arnett, and a first-round pick for Quinnen Williams. I don't know if you mean Quentin Nelson, but Quinnen Williams, I love Quinnen Williams. Great defensive tackle. I'm not going to give up a first-round pick and two guys where Clee's probably worth a fifth, Arnett's probably worth a sixth. So a first, a fifth, and a sixth-round pick for Quinnen Williams. Probably not going to do that. Let's go to Miguel Hernandez. Did we miss out on Richard Sherman? No. Did you watch Richard Sherman this week? He didn't look very good. He looked like a guy who hadn't played football for a long time. The Raiders couldn't predict that Trayvon Mullen was going to get hurt. And when Mullen's in the game and Hayward, it's a very good cornerback combination. As soon as he leaves the field, though, then you got to put out other guys. Though, I was impressed by Meek Robertson. I thought he had a pretty good game today against Mike Williams. Let's go to Levi. If we hit the field goal, is it a different game? Not really, because even if you hit the field goal, you're down 21-17, and then the Chargers go right up the field, they score, make it 28-17. Like, sure, it's still a closer game, but you still were going to need a touchdown. So the way that the Raiders did it, and I see a lot of people blaming, Gruden, and if it's up to me, I would have went for him instead of the field goal if I'm being 100% honest. Like, you're down 21-14. It was like, what, fourth and – see, I guess the other issue is this. Carr got sacked. So originally it was 3rd and 3. Carr got sacked. It goes back to 4th and 9. So I think Gruden would have been like, I was more confident than Carlson. And Carlson has been almost automatic this season. So he's going to get ripped on a little bit for that. However, I don't hate the call, but I also don't love it either. But I don't know if it changes much. Let's go to Brody. This slow starting offense is going to kill the season, and it's time to sign an offensive lineman. Yes and yes. So if you guys want to get your questions, comments on the show, it's hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. We're going to answer a few more, and then we're going to get the heck out of here. Miguel, what up? Any concerns about Khalil Mack next week against Leatherwood? Of course. Khalil Mack is one of the premier edge rushers in the National Football League. He's a great player from top to bottom, and Leatherwood's bad. Leatherwood's been bad this year. What I want you guys to do right now is grade the Raiders' performance up against the Chargers, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm not going to give them an F because they at least played well in the third quarter. However, fourth quarter effort deserves a D. First half deserves nothing but Fs. And then the third quarter was an A+. Therefore, I'm going to give them a D grade. Yeah, it's a D grade, man. Let's go to Chandler. Gruden's building his game plans to run the ball in the first half like he ain't traded half the offensive line. Again, he traded the offensive line because they weren't all that good last year either, and they were overpaid. So I'm not going to rip on the old offensive line because if you look how they're playing, I've said this 100 times, the old offensive line isn't playing well either. So if you guys want to get a hookup, I want to give a shout-out to Panda Supps if you could. Leatherwood needs to sit. He irritates the hell out of me. I mean, you're right. I mean, he's been bad, guys. I mean, there's just no other way to look at it besides that. He's been a major liability from top to bottom. So, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. Now, today's show is made possible by Panda Supps. What I want you guys to do right now is use code FLAC because I was hoping the Raiders were going to go 4-0, and I know the guy who owns Panda Supps, he's a big-time Raider fan himself. Use code FLAC, which stands for F the Chargers, at pandasupps.com for 40% off. Whether you need protein, honestly, the Raiders need some of this, nootropics, because this stuff helps you focus. And they need to be able to help focus in the first quarter. Maybe you're looking for pre-workout. Hey, we got the hook up there, too. If you're trying to get into better shape, they also got some brand new BCAAs, which are very important to take after you work out. Go to pandasupps.com. That link is going to be available for y'all in the comment section. Use code FLAC to save 40% off on your order. Mike Lopez, how odd the Chargers win, and now there is thunder and lightning in L.A. Please trade for an offensive guard. Yeah, it was kind of weird that the game got delayed. Obviously, the Chargers, L.A., but you might have to trade for an offensive guard or something, but you got to make an adjustment. Desi Turner, the missed field goal changed momentum completely. Chargers get the ball back at midfield. We score, and they go full field, not half. I mean, I still, even though it was 4th and 9, I understand Gruden after losing the 6 yards there, why he didn't go for it. However, being down by a touchdown, a field goal still would have only had you down by 4. So we'll see ultimately what happens going forward next week. But Yeah, pretty frustrating. Let's go to the Raiders now. The first 4 weeks of the season, guys. You had a big win. Week 2, big win. Week 3, big win. Week 4, just couldn't get it done on Monday Night Football up against the Chargers. So what you guys see right now are the AFC West standings. The Raiders go from being in first place down to third place. Chargers, they're 3-1. First place after beating the Raiders, and the Chiefs are 2-0 in the division. Broncos are 3-1. They lost this week up against the Ravens. The reason why they're over the Raiders is because of the division record. Raiders 3-1. Chiefs 2-2. Again, guys, I'm not going anywhere. I don't want you guys going anywhere. Make sure you hit that big red button that says subscribe.